we go. Hello, hello. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can I see and hear myself? Let me check. I can. Do you know what though? I cannot see a single chat in the chat. And that is highly unusual because usually you guys are very talkative at this point. I wonder if that's because, I mean, I see people are here. Why can I not see anyone in the chat? What if I go, okay, let me switch to my Masha Streams channel on my phone and then go onto my Masha Notes account and try and send a chat. Will I be able to see that? Okay, of course I can see that.
Yeah, I'm just finishing up right now.
Oh my god. Oh, Jake sent me a picture. He's trying to chat. When we use the chat, it says error. Try again, so I can't send anything. Yeah, I thought there was. Let me try myself as well. Error sending message. I wonder why. Sorry, hi guys. I mean, I'm gonna stream anyway, but I'm gonna use YouTube down. I'm gonna go on Twitter, see if there's anything on Twitter. Maybe I did something? Did I do something accidentally? Live chat. Enable live chat. What if I trigger that off? And then I go back and I trigger that on. I mean, either way, hopefully you guys can actually hear the microphone is nice. I heard that. Okay. Test. No, error sending message. Okay. YouTube. I'm just gonna go on Twitter. I can also see messages from you guys on Instagram and on Discord, by the way. So if you wanna quickly just like write to me on Discord or something, I'm gonna go on Discord general chat. See if I like I can restart the stream. Yeah, chat isn't working. I can see. I'm just trying to figure out like what to do. YouTube chat not working. Live chat basics. YouTube help. It says error. Try again. Yeah. I can just like restart the stream and see if that helps. Live chat is turned on by default. Live chat is not available if you're. I mean, it's available, right? It's not made for kids. Let me just double check if I made me accidentally set it to be made for kids. No, it's not made for kids, so the chat is available. What if I actually chat something? Can you see that? I just like typed in a bunch of N's. Yeah, you can see. Oh! Okay. What? I can see chats now? I still... Oh, there we go. There we go. Why? Why did me, Hi! Hello, everyone. Good to see you, finally. Why did, me typing something in the chat fix it? That is weird. Well, good to see you guys. Hopefully you can see and hear me better this time, because I'm actually streaming from my DSLR, which I use to film my videos, and I am also streaming from a new microphone. Hello! Finally. Okay, well that was a weird experience. I still don't know what that was, to be honest. Yeah, oh well. I mean, I'll Google that later, I guess, to see what fix itself today. Do you know what, like, oh, sorry, one sec. Just putting my phone on charge. And I think I unplugged the charger, so it's not charging. Great. Anyway, I was complaining earlier on my Instagram stories, and I saw Jake here in the chat as well. Maybe turn your music down a little, okay? 25? Minus 25? There we go. Sorry, basically this stream, I turned it down minus 25. You should hear the music. The music is still louder than the talking. Why? Why? Let me open it. This is a test stream. That's good. Oh, it might be because my microphone is a bit quiet.
If everyone spent 10 minutes in the COVID one,
Okay. That's just the ads, not me. Okay, yeah, I see. That's, yeah, okay, I'm gonna turn it down even further. Oh god, that's, shut up. What if I... It's not doing anything. Okay, no, it does. I hate hearing myself on the stream again. Okay, I think it should be fine. The music should be fine. Basically, I think the microphone is a little quiet. That's why, yeah, you heard the echo because I had it on my phone. I had it open on my phone. Anyway, the microphone, I think, is just a little quiet. That's why, I usually put the music onto, like, -20, but I had to put it onto -40 now. Anyway, hi! What's the pattern? The pattern is in the description. Say potato, potato. Hi, all the way from Canada. I was on your last stream. Welcome back. Welcome back. Anyway, yeah, what I was saying this entire time is that this is like basically a test stream. I'm trying to configure. I got this new microphone today, and I got a, what is it? What's it called? A cam link, which is a capture card. I forgot the word for it. I got a capture card to basically stream from, so I can stream from my camera, the one that I use for filming my videos and everything else. So that's what I'm doing today, and this is like the first stream I'm doing with it, and I spent like, what, 3 hours trying to set it all up, and that was mostly because I am stupid. Like, you would think that, you know, as someone who literally has a computer science degree, the option, you know, to turn something off and on again would be the first thing that I try, right? But yet it did not enter my mind. It did not. So I ended up like spending 2 hours trying to figure out why the capture card wasn't working with my camera, when in fact all I had to do was literally turn it off and on again. So, you know. I wish I could nod along with you, but I need to study. Oh, yes, go study. Don't worry. I'll be re-uploading this to my Masha Streams channel later anyway. So you can... Oh, sorry, I need to fix my squeaky chair. So you can nod along with me later. There we go. I'm just gonna... Hopefully you can see a little better as well, because I can actually use my proper lights. The pattern isn't in the description. Let me just double check that. It is! At least it should be... because I can see it. Either way, it's pattern... Oh, what pattern is it? Oh, 1 sec. It's on Bracelet Book, and it's 67850. 67850, but it also is in the description. At least it should be, because I put it and I can see it there. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the lights that I am using, that I use to film my videos, they didn't work with the webcam that I was using. Like they flickered for whatever reason. Like I turned the anti-flicker on and everything. Like I configured it to be the exact hertz that it's supposed to, and it still flickered, and I just couldn't use them. So I had to like use tiny little ones that weren't illuminating anything really well. So hopefully you can actually like see better. So yeah. If it's not in the description for you, refresh the stream, Jake says. Yeah, I mean, it should have been there from the beginning, because I put it in there before I even started the stream. But, yes. The tape is so cute. Thank you! It's from Amazon. You can get it as well if you want to. Why don't you use a macrame board? I don't know. I use this. This is comfortable for me. I've never had to think of using something else, because I use this and I like it as well. Like, people ask me, why don't you use this? Why don't you use that? I mean, I like what I am using, which is why I never thought about switching. So, yeah. Oh, yes, I can. Can you make me a mod? I can. How do I? Oh, I should probably do that on YouTube and not through this. 1 sec. Add moderator. There we go. You are now a moderator. It's one of my patrons, for those of you who don't know, so I know who this is. I don't just make anyone a moderator. At least not right now. That's not what I'm looking to do. There we go. I can actually get the pattern up on my screen. Like, I basically remembered this pattern anyway, so I don't really need to have it up on my screen. But I like to have it up on my screen anyway, just in case. Especially when I'm streaming, because I tend to be not as attentive to my to my bracelets as, you know, if you've seen a few of my streams, you may know that I'm not as attentive. What do you use to stream? I use OBS Streamlabs, which is specifically designed for streaming. Oh, Claire, let me make you a moderator as well. You don't have to mod, but I just, it highlights people in the chat so I can see you better, so I don't miss your messages. I like to do that to people that I know or like talk to frequently. Some people ask to be mods, but even those who don't ask to be mods, I like to mod them so I can actually like see people that I talk to a lot in the chat better. What am I doing? I am here. All right. You can do more cross stitch videos. Maybe at some point. I just did something wrong, didn't I? Yeah. I'm not cross stitching that much at the moment. But I do want to make more cross stitch videos. I also do want to cross stitch more. I didn't make a video this week at all. I'm kind of slacking on my videos this week. I felt kind of iffy this week in general, both like mentally and physically. I had a headache for like 2 days straight, which was incredibly annoying. And then I completely messed up my sleeping schedule to the point where I went to bed at like 7:30 in the morning, which was ridiculous, which might be connected to the headache, there seems to be kind of a bit of a correlation there. If I was a smarter person, maybe I would interpret that as causation. Anyway, not the point. Point being, I completely like messed up my schedule, and I had a bit of a hard time this week, both physically and mentally. So I didn't end up posting anything, which I really should have. I really should have. But I'm gonna stream today, and then hopefully make something cool this week. Do you know what? I have an idea for their theme for February's challenge, and everyone's expecting me to make like a heart theme or something for Valentine's, which is not going to be the theme, but the theme is going to be something completely different, and I probably need to make a tutorial to help with the theme, so I need to focus on that really. You have no idea how hard my eyes rolled back after you told me that turning OBS on and off again fixed the cam link issue. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Jake is a friend of mine from university, and was helping me figure out what my issues were and why the cam link isn't working. And he was there like I think I was doing it for like 2 hours. You were there for probably like the last hour or something. Yeah. Do you know how hard my eyes rolled when I realized that was the thing? Ooh. You should do a video of you trying crochet. It's really fun, and once you get down the basics, it's super easy and fun. I really do want to try it, to be honest. I do really... Well, I need to be more attentive when I'm streaming and making something. Because I got lost in the pattern right now, and I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, I just made that little bit. Now I have to go here. People ask me, like, how I figure out patterns and how I figure out how to... segment knot. And you just kind of like, you have to work through the pattern a few times, or like the first time you have to like work through my brain goes faster than my mouth does, and so I'm already thinking about something completely different by the time I start talking, and then when I talk, my thought gets jumbled. I'm gonna start from the beginning. You need to have your strings to be in a specific position to create the design. What segment knotting is basically making a few knots in a row with one string. So for example, you have a pink string, right? So like this, here, like right here, this pink string that went to the left. Like I would want to make all of those knots at once, like in a row, because there's a lot of pink string going at once in a row. And so by learning how to segment knot, you're essentially learning how to optimize bracelet making so that you can make as few string changes as possible, so you could make as the most amount of knots in a row as you can. Obviously you can't really do that with single knots, but with knots that there's a lot of the string together, you are able to do that. But to make a lot of knots in a row, you have to have all of the previous strings that you're going to make those knots onto be in the position that you need them to be in order to make all of those knots. So let me demonstrate once I close this bit off. I'm going to demonstrate exactly what I mean by that. And there's no real, like, one way to segment knot, because there's, different... You can do it in different combinations, like you can do this bit first and that bit, but you just have to get them to be in a specific position, as the pattern suggests. But it doesn't matter in which order you really do that. Anyway, so for example, this bit, right? This pink string that went, like, here, then it went there. Now it has to go in all the way until, like, right about here. But I can't do that yet, because there's only so many strings that are pointed in this direction, right? There's only 3 strings pointed in this direction so far, and I need to make 5 knots. And I need to make knots onto, like, this pink, I think, and another black, but they're pointing in the other direction. So I need to get them into that correct position first before I can do that. That is probably unnecessary. I should probably, like, make another video explaining that. Anyway, to put them in that position, I need to make this diamond first, and then have those strings will be able to get that. Does that make sense? It doesn't make much sense, I don't think. Anyway, this is why I edit my tutorials and such, because whenever I do it live, I just ramble. How are you today? I'm doing good. Doing good. I got all of this gear. I spent like 3 hours trying to set it up and figure out how to do it. Also, this now means that I can stream off of my Switch, which is not something that people really care about, I don't think. But I can do it if I want to. I know that like some of you guys are interested in Animal Crossing, but like obviously the majority of you aren't, because that's not what you follow me for. But maybe at some point when I have like a day off or something, when I'm done with all my bracelet content for the week, I might do like an extra stream of just me playing Animal Crossing or something. But yeah, I have the opportunity to do that now, because you can't stream or record directly off of your Switch without having a capture card, but now I do. So that's cool. Anyway, I'm doing good. I had a good day. I baked some cookies the other day, and I started my morning with like eating like 3 cookies. They're small, they're not like huge, but still. So that was a lovely morning. Hey Masha, this is not a question, but this is not a question video. You can ask me questions, it's fine. But do you like Harry Potter? And if so, what is your favorite house and your house? Well, let me start off by saying, like, yeah, the streams are not a question video, but I mean, I'm talking to you, so you can ask me questions about basically whatever you want. It doesn't have to be bracelet related. I can talk to you guys about anything, and we use these opportunities to just like knot together and chat. But in terms of, I don't have a favorite Hogwarts house, but I am a Ravenclaw. And yes, I do love Harry Potter. I'm currently rereading book 4. I'm rereading very, very slowly, but I am rereading book 4. I read it before bed yesterday, and it was lovely. Baking is my love language. Yeah, same. I love baking. I used to be like a much bigger baker than I am now, but I do love baking. Anyway, I'm Ravenclaw. I used to think that I was Gryffindor, then I used to think that I was a Slytherin, and I finally settled on the fact that I'm a Ravenclaw. I've typed it 5 times and you haven't answered. I'm sorry, I don't know. I miss the majority of the chats, I'm sorry. There's a few of them, and I'm also trying to read the pattern and make the pattern. Baking for friends, exactly. Yes, I very much enjoy baking for other people as well. I think the first Valentine's Day that we celebrated together, like as a couple with Stefan and me, I baked him, his favorite color is purple, and I baked him cookies in the shape of a heart, and I made them purple. I colored them purple, and my mum isn't like a very big food coloring fan. Like, she's very sort of, I don't know, quote-unquote traditional with her food, which doesn't really make much sense, but you know what I mean. So she wasn't really into the food coloring, so she saw these like purple cookies that I made, and she was like, yeah, that looks like an octopus made them. I'm like, I'm not even gonna touch him. I'm not even gonna attempt to request a cookie from you because I don't want it. But Stefan really liked them, and it was cool. What brand of string do you use? Also, what pattern is that? The pattern is linked in the description. The brand of string, I don't know what the block colors are. I have no idea. I'm pretty sure this is just like an Amazon string that I got. But the sparkly is Alice Sal Simile. I'll put it in the chat, or maybe someone else can put it in the chat if someone actually knows how to type it, because my keyboard is far away. If someone can type Alice Sal Simile, I put it in a lot of my videos. It's SAL. For the Sal, and then Simile is just SIMLI, and Alice is ALIZE. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, that's the sparkly string. It's a little bit fluffy because it's a yarn, but it works well. Thank you, people putting it in the chat. Thank you very much. It's a little bit fluffy, but it works. It's just a bit. Yes, there you go. Thank you very much. Thank you for answering me. You are the most active YouTuber on stream. The most active stream chat YouTuber. Do you know what? I mean, that's because like bigger YouTubers have so many more messages to respond to. Like, even I can't respond to any of the all of the messages because I physically cannot. I can't read all of them, let alone say something to all of them. But yeah, like if people have more people in the chat, it's very difficult to actually be able to communicate with everyone. So yeah. When you watch YouTube, do you watch any of your Masha Nuts accounts, or do you watch on a personal account? Sorry if this seems stalkerish, I'm just really curious. Oh, yeah, I have my own account. Like I have a separate account. Usually people don't do that. Do you know what? Like the majority of YouTubers, at least as far as I know, or as far as I've heard people talk about, the majority of YouTubers just like watch YouTube off of their own account. But because I had a YouTube account for so much longer than I became a YouTuber, like I had my own personal YouTube account that is like already tailored to me in terms of recommendations. Like it knows what I like to watch. I already had all of my subscriptions on there that I subscribed to like forever ago. Like it just didn't really make sense to transfer that to my own separate account. Also, it makes it so that if someone ever does hack me, which I hope never happens to me, because like, oh god, that's like one of my worst nightmares. But if that does happen, then, you know, I still have some privacy left in the sense that people who hack me won't know what I watch on YouTube, because, you know, you can tell a lot by a person based on their recommendation feed on like YouTube, TikTok, and so on. So yeah, just, it didn't really make sense for me to create like a whole new account if I already had everything tailored to me on that one. So yeah. But it is kind of annoying to switch between the two, will not lie. But, you know, it's just like 2 clicks, but still. I like to not click as much if I don't have to. When did you start streaming? Oh, today? 25 minutes ago. In general, like a few months ago. I keep dreaming about other Instagrammers hacking me. Oh no, that sounds like a nightmare. Yeah, I mean, I try to, like, be careful with it, but you can never really be super careful, can you? So, yeah. Did it snow for you today? It did! I woke up and there was snow outside. Like the typical, you know, British person, like talking about weather because that's the most interesting thing in our lives right now in lockdown. But yeah, I mean, it never snows in London. It very rarely snows in London. The last time it snowed was my first year in university, so 2017, like what, 4 years ago? Oh my god, that was 4 years ago. But yeah, it snowed. I mean, it only stuck for like 30 minutes, but yeah, it snowed, which is good. I see people in the chat asking for shoutouts and asking for me to read out their names, and I'm gonna tell you why I won't do that and why the majority of like streamers don't do that. And that's because as soon as you read someone's name out loud, the chat is instantly overrun with people asking for you to read their name out. And I would much rather actually like have a conversation with you guys than just read a bunch of messages that say please read my name. So that's why I am actively ignoring those messages as much as I would love to, and I can see you. I'm not going to do that because otherwise the whole chat is just going to be filled with it. And I want to talk to you guys. It still hasn't snowed here yet. I've only seen it snow. I've only seen snow a handful of times in my life. Yeah, it sucks living in a climate where it doesn't snow, and I really like snow. Like I very much don't like it the way that it is in Moscow, at least. And I was going to say in Russia, but, you know, Russia's a huge country. It's different everywhere. That string is, like, sticking out a little bit. Oh, well. Anyway, I was going to say that I very much don't like the way that it is in Moscow. Because in Moscow, it's basically, like, snow is there for a solid, 4, 5, 6 months, depending on the year. Like, it's just always there. And I hate that because it's always there. And it's only really pretty for, like, the first day. Because especially when you're in a city, like, all the cars and all the people, it just becomes slush in, like, a day. Even less. So, it's just, ugh. I don't like snow when I live in Moscow. I do like it when I live in, like, the country house that Stefan's family owns. Because in the country house, it's all very pretty. And everything's like, ooh, white snow, pretty, pretty. But I do want to see it, like, every once in a while. So living in London where there's no snow ever is just kind of sad. Because, like, you don't get to experience the seasons or anything. Anyway, can we, like, not talk about the weather? Can we talk about anything else but the weather? I don't want to be, like, a really boring British person who, like, just talks about the weather. Yeah, slush is gross. Exactly. Slush is extremely disgusting. Hi Masha, you're such an inspiration. I love your videos and channel. You helped me, you inspired me to start a YouTube channel and get into brace. So thank you so much. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome, Lily. Thank you so much. Ooh, did I just Mess up my camera angle. There we go. I'm glad I inspired you to create your own YouTube channel. That's awesome. And I'm really happy to hear that. What is your full name? My full name is, I don't even know how to say it in English, but in Russian it's Maria Makarova, which is my second channel name, which you can see in the description. It's linked, and you can see how it's spelt, because English people have a difficult time with my last name, which is my husband's last name, actually. I took his... But yeah, that is my full name, because I don't have a middle name. I have an отчество, which is like a Russian thing. Well, not exclusively Russian, but a Russian thing as well. Is where like your middle name is like your father's name, but kind of like a little bit adapted. So like I have a middle name in that sense, but not in the typical traditional sense. It's not in my passport. So yeah, there you go. Have you ever heard of K-pop? I have heard of it, but like I don't actively listen to it. Not because I don't like it or anything. I just don't know. I just don't. Would you rather have cats for the rest of your life or have dogs? I would rather have a mix of both. Like my ideal home situation, like where do I see myself in like 5 years? How old will I be in 5 years? I'm gonna be turning 23 this year, so I'll be what, like 28 next in 5 years? I mean, when I'm 28, maybe I'll have a kid. I don't know. Potentially, I'll be thinking about it. Like I think I'll start thinking about having kids closer to my 30s, but ignoring kids for now, right? My ideal life would be my husband, obviously, in this country. Finally, like, can we make that happen, please, in 2021? I would very much enjoy that. But 2 cats and 1 dog. I really, really want that. 2 cats because cats are just easier to manage. They don't require as much upkeep as dogs do. And then 1 dog because I love dogs as well. They just require much more attention and upkeep than cats do. So I want just 1 and 2 cats. I will probably have that, and then I would want more because I know no bounds. I have much love to give to animals, and I might get more, but you know, that's my ideal. That's my ideal setup. I can also see people asking if I remember them in the chat, and that I'm not answering those questions for the exact same reasons as I'm not answering shoutouts, because otherwise that's just gonna be the chat. It's just gonna be overrun with that. So there we go. I will say happy birthday though. Happy birthday, Olivia. There we go. What is your dream holiday destination? I mean, anywhere right now. Like, just for the love of God, can we please get rid of COVID so we can travel? Oh my God, I just hit it again. Anywhere. Right now, I just want to go anywhere. Like, I had a trip planned to go to Russia, obviously, for New Year's. I mean, not obviously, if you don't remember that, but I did. But because of, you know, travel restrictions, not that I would have gone had the travel restrictions not been in place. I probably still wouldn't have gone because, like, you know, the cases soared. Because I booked that flight, like, ages ago when the cases were relatively down and we were allowed to travel and, like, we were still allowed to, like, go out to shops and stuff and restaurants were still open. Like, everything was fine when I booked the tickets, so I thought, like, you know, it'll be fine. But no, everything went to crap. So, couldn't go. So basically anywhere. Like, right now, my dream destination is anywhere. But, I don't know, post-COVID, Australia, I would love to go. I'm terrified of, like, creepy crawlies and everything, but, I would want to put that aside and go visit Australia, because it seems like a lovely place to visit. So there you go. Potentially Australia. Although that's probably very expensive because it's like on the other side of the world. We shall see. I don't know. I'm trying not to make plans post-COVID because that seems very unattainable at the moment. There is only one person that disliked this video. Look, I don't. Do you know what? People put so much emphasis on likes and dislikes. I don't ever look at them. Like, what? I just don't. I look at the comments. I sometimes look at the video views because that is relevant for, you know, when you're looking for sponsors and whatnot, like that is relevant information. But I never look at the likes. Ever. Because I don't think that makes much of a difference anyway. Like, people are gonna dislike whatever you put out because that's just a fact. But also, like, what? I don't know what the point of them is, to be honest. But I do appreciate it when you do like. I mean, thank you. What do you sound like in Russian? I mean, tell me something to say in Russian, and I can say it and you can hear. So let me just adjust my seating position because I'm sitting on my foot and it's not very comfortable. Oh my god. I attached string without taping it down and now I feel accomplished. That is definitely an accomplishment. Oh my god. There's like this cord. Okay, there we go. It was like on my foot and it was so annoying. Can you see something in Russian? Что-то. That's something in Russian. I like avocados. Мне нравится авокадо. There you go. I love this pattern. I like it too. It's like this one, which I don't have the pattern number for, but it's in my to-dos on bracelet book. If you want it, I like this one. It's made by the same creator, and it's like the same kind of style, the same overall theme. I don't know how to describe it. It looks very similar, and obviously I used a very similar color combination. But yeah, I really like it. I think it's really cool. I've already made 4 bracelets this month, which doesn't seem like a lot, but it is to me, because I only made 2 last month. Also, all 4 of them are like pretty big, like 20 plus strings, I think. Right? Am I saying that right? How many strings is this? Is it 20 plus? Yeah, it's 24. Right. So they're all relatively big. And I also made a wall hanging-ish thing. So I'm pretty proud of myself. It's not as many as I did last year, but it's still more than I made last month, so. This month's wrap-up is gonna be bigger than last month's wrap-up. Also, it's scheduled already, so. Well, I mean, scheduled for filming, not for release. It's not filmed yet. I ramble. Have you played Stardew Valley recently? I'm getting back into it. Oh, I love Stardew Valley. I haven't played it recently. I'm getting back into it. Maybe I should as well. I've heard there was a huge update for it. Oh, someone messaged me. I'm gonna mute myself. My phone. 1 sec. Mute. There we go. I heard there was a huge update released for Stardew Valley, and I've watched a couple of videos about it. But I haven't actually checked it out myself yet. I just saw a message. There we go. I'm one of your patrons on Patreon, but I'm not on the Discord for it. How do I join it? It should have automatically added you to it, but if it hasn't done that, send me an email on my business email, which is mashanuts.business@gmail.com. I need to change that, but it is mashanuts.business@gmail.com. Send me an email, and I'll get you into that. So yeah, I'll check that you're actually a patron and not just someone trying to weasel into a group. But I mean, I believe you, so I just want to do that. But it should have automatically added you, which is weird. But sometimes it doesn't, so just send me an email. Oh my god, so many messages. What is your favorite type of bracelet to make? Alpha, normal, etc. What is your favorite... Oh, it's the same question twice. I don't really have, like, a favorite bracelet to make. I go through phases in which I like bracelets. So I can be in, like, a very big normal bracelet phase or very big alpha bracelet phase. It kind of just depends on my mood. Sometimes I'm not in the mood to make bracelets at all. So, yeah. How do you become a patron in your group? I'm not sure what you mean by in your group, but you can become a patron by clicking the link in the description to my Patreon and signing up there. Oh my god. Oh my god, please stop spamming. I can see your message, but please stop spamming. Oh my god. You are awesome and you're the reason I pushed myself to make more patterns and I love them. And I'm thinking of starting a store with some of them. Is that okay? I mean, yeah. Ooh, what am I doing wrong? I don't sell bracelets myself, so I don't really know what the logistics are of that, but yeah, sure, go start a store. I'm glad I inspired you to do that. Who are your dream villagers in Animal Crossing? I wasn't really aware that this was a thing, that people could have dream villages, because I only really started playing Animal Crossing in July. I'd never played an Animal Crossing game before, so I didn't know that this was a thing, that people like really had dream villages. I just sort of got whoever I thought looked cute, to be honest, and I tried to get like a variety of people, well, not people, villages, a variety of villages in terms of Personality types, I could get like all the reactions from them, so I have every single person. That took a while. In the Sisterly villages, it took me so long to get a Sisterly, and I finally got Cherry. But yeah, I don't know. But turns out, basically my logic was, I'm just gonna get a cute villager that is of a different personality than I have. And I managed to get some really popular villagers by complete accident. I had no idea. Like, I got Sherb, who is like, what, second or third? Potentially first. I can't even remember. Out of the entire tier list of like 400 villagers, I got him on like my first villager hunt, I think. Something like that. I thought he looked cute, and I was like, okay, you're coming with me, come live with me. I didn't even know he was popular, but I got him. I've got Sherb, I've got Eric, I've got Julian. I used to have Judy, right? The one with the cute eyes. I have Poppy. Poppy is my absolute favorite, probably. I really like Poppy. I've got Cherry. Who else have I got? I've got Alice. Olivia. I don't remember who else. Leonardo. I really like Leonardo. He was on my first island, and I really like him. He's the only jock that I can tolerate. I really don't like the jocks. But yeah, I think that's it. Oh, Flora. I've got Flora as well. Are some villages rarer than others? In a sense, some of them are. Basically, not really. Like, not really. There's like 400-ish villages, just a bit less. And you have like a random chance of getting any of them whenever you search for villages. The less villages, it's a very long and complicated. Tell me to stop talking about this if you want me to stop talking about this, because it's like long and complicated. Basically, there's like a bunch of different animal types. And the less villages there are in that animal type, the more likely you are to get that villager. Because if there's only, like, for example, there's like 3 octopi in the game, and so the game first randomly generates a type of villager to show you, and then out of that type, it randomly generates a specific villager to show you. So if it randomly generates an octopus, and then it randomly generates someone within that octopus, if there's only 3 of them, you have a higher chance of getting an octopus, a specific octopus. But say for cats, there's like 20-something of them, so you have a much lesser chance to get a specific cat, because it still randomly generates the type first, and then the cat. Does that make sense? I mean, Claire will probably understand it. Claire, you study maths. I assume you understand statistics and how that works. But apart from that, some villages have like amiibo cards, which is something that you can purchase in the real physical world. And then you can find your villager through that. Like, you can like scan an amiibo card and then get your villager in. And some villages don't have amiibo cards. So cats, I think, are the rarest because there's just more of them. And there are some cats, specifically Raymond, who people obsess over, who don't have amiibo cards. So the only way that you can find him is in the game, and you can't scan a physical amiibo card to get him. So technically he is rarer just because of that. But, like, kind of, not really. I don't know how to describe it. Like, kind of. Anyway, that was a very long rant for nothing. But what I was trying to say is that I don't really have dreamies, but I was lucky to get, like, really popular villages on complete accident. Yeah, I'm very happy with them. So, yeah. That's why people like Raymond. Yeah, that is one of the reasons people like Raymond. Also, he has, 2 different colored eyes, which people think is really cute. And also, he's just, like, kind of cute in general. So that's why people obsess over Raymond. But I've been recently seeing more Raymond hate than Raymond love, because people are annoyed that people love him too much. Anyway, there's also, like, I know, people don't... Oh, I'm sorry, I'll stop talking about Animal Crossing once I say this one thing. But you can get your villager's photos on Animal Crossing, which basically means that your villager loves you, in essence. So if you have, like, friendship points and, like, relationships, and the higher your relationship is, the higher the chance that they're going to give you the photo of themselves, and by them giving you a photo of themselves, it's like the highest degree of appreciation, essentially. So, like, a lot of people aim to get villager photos. That's like a goal that they have. And I've been playing the game since July. This is my second island because I used to play on Stefan's Switch. And then obviously I gave it back to him and got my own. But still, like, I've been playing since July. I never got a single villager photo on that island that I had. And then I've had this one since November, and I still didn't have a single villager photo on this either. And I was like starting to give up on the fact of ever getting a villager photo. I was like, well, maybe mine are just broken. Like, I'm never gonna get a villager photo. This just is not working. And I got 3 in 2 days. So I'm very happy. I got one at like 10 p.m. the other day, and I was so happy. I got Alice's villager photo she was my first. And then I went to sleep, woke up the next day, and then the morning I got 2 more. I got Sherb's villager photo and I got Olivia's villager photo. So I now have 3, and I'm very excited and very happy because I didn't think that it was going to happen because it took so long. But it did. I just gave them a bunch of fossils. Anyway. I like Stitches, but I've heard that some people don't like her. Also, I had no clue until recently that Stitch is a girl. I thought she was a dude for years. I played with her back on the DS Animal Crossing. Yeah, I mean, I think the personality types are divided into boys and girls, so you can like tell from that. I like Stitches. I think Stitches is really cute. Anyway, I'm gonna like stop talking about Animal Crossing because I know that not everyone is interested. I'm sorry. I don't mean to leave people out. Would you rather have all the colors that you need except pinks, or have all the colors that you need except blues? Ooh, I would rather just have all the colors that I need. Can we choose that? I like blues more than pinks, so maybe except pinks. I apologize if you hear Thomas, by the way, because he's playing a video game online and he's swearing profusely. I hope you do not hear it, because we are a family-friendly stream. Can you stream Animal Crossing? Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, because now I have a capture card, I can do that. So potentially, in the future, I will do that, yes. Any YouTube channel tips? Ooh. Do you know what? I mentioned this previous stream, but I haven't actually done it since then, so I'm going to mention it again. I have a second channel, if you guys didn't know, which is linked in the description, which is just basically a channel where I post whatever I feel like. You know, like D'Angelo Wallace, like, this is a channel where I talk about anything I want. And that's essentially what my second channel is. And I am making a video on that second channel, basically about what it's like to be a YouTuber. I asked the other day on my Instagram story for you guys to send me questions for that video, and you guys provided me with tons of questions. Tons and tons of questions about like what it's like to be a YouTuber and such. So I'm planning on making a video on that. I will also potentially make a video on like tips and stuff, because it's like really difficult to actually like put it in like a stream. I don't know. My tip is just start. It really doesn't matter what kind of like, don't think that you need, I say that on a stream where I'm boasting about, you know, a new camera, cam link and the mic, but still, you don't need amazing gear to start. You really, really, really don't. Which you can also take that here. Although to be fair, that is streaming. Anyway, I'll shut up with that. The point is, you really don't need anything like specific to start. You know, filming videos or streaming or whatever. Just start doing it, and then once you start, you can figure out if that's actually something you do want to pursue for a while, if you think that it is something worth investing in financially, and then you can upgrade from there if you feel like it. But you really don't need amazing gear to start off with. Just do it, and try to enjoy it. Like, don't go into it thinking that you're going to earn tons of money, because you're not, most likely. Really, like, right now I'm barely making enough to cover rent, because January is like the worst month of all. Like, you're not gonna make amazing money out of it, and even if you are, it's probably gonna take you a while to do that anyway. So just like, don't go into it expecting to make a lot of money. Go into it because you want to do it, go into it for passion. Oh my god, Thomas is literally just swearing so much in his room. I can hear, I think he's playing an online game, and I think because I'm streaming, his internet isn't very fast, and it's probably lagging, which is probably why he's swearing so much. Oh my god. I just saw a comment that I wanted to reply to, and I can't find it anymore. Oh, I'm sorry. Who's your favorite YouTuber? I don't really have a favorite YouTuber. I don't know. I like to watch a variety of different YouTube channels. Right now, I'm very much enjoying watching, I don't know how to pronounce her name, probably Koromora, the Animal Crossing YouTuber. I really like her. Who else am I watching right now? I don't know. I really like Plumbella. I really like her because I feel like I can relate to her on a lot of things, and I really like Plumbella. She's also really sweet. She's a British YouTuber who makes, and streamer as well, who makes Sims videos, and also I think she started a variety channel as well, and she variety streams. I hear some vague shouts, yeah. Anyway, I don't know, I watch a lot of YouTube, but off the top of my head, it's very difficult for me to like pinpoint specific people. Do you like Sophia? I used to watch her a lot. I haven't watched her that much recently, I don't know why. I should probably check her out. She just stopped popping up in my recommended feed. Like, that's usually how I find people to watch. I don't specifically search for anything. It just, like, whatever is on my recommended feed is what I watch. And for some reason, she stopped showing up there. I don't know why. But yeah, I do like her. I used to watch her a lot. Like a year ago, and then for some reason I stopped. I have no idea. What is your all-time favorite food? My mum's cooking. I cannot be more specific than that. But my mum is an amazing chef. And I absolutely love everything that she makes. And whenever I go back to Russia, I am so happy because I don't have to cook. And I enjoy not cooking, just in general. But also, I very much enjoy my mum's cooking specifically because she cooks amazing food. And I very much enjoy it. If you could live anywhere, where would you live? I would live right here. I very much enjoy living in London. I would probably not live in this area because I do not live in the greatest of areas in terms of criminal activity and, you know, I mean, just in general, it's just not, we don't have fiber optic in this area, at least like in this specific building. Can you imagine that? I am a YouTuber and a streamer now as well. I need to have fiber optic internet and I do not have it. Can you imagine how annoyed I was when I found that out after we moved? This is something that I should have checked beforehand, I admit. It was very, very stupid of us to not check this beforehand. I have learnt my lesson. That is the first thing that I'll be checking next time we move. Yeah. Yeah, that I was very much not family friendly when I found that out. The words coming out of my mouth were not family friendly when I found that out, let me just say. What is a big turn-off or pet peeve? I mean, in terms of people, like if I were dating, which I'm not because I'm married, but like if I were, my biggest turn-off in people would be the ability, well, the lack of the ability, I guess, to admit your own mistakes and to admit when you are wrong. I think that it's a very good quality in a person, a very good character trait to be able to admit when you are wrong. And I absolutely hate it when people cannot do that. So that would be my biggest turn off had I been dating. Which I'm not, but you know, still. There you go. That's what I look for in a spouse. Hope, you know, someone who can admit when they're wrong. And thankfully, my spouse is able to do that. So. Do you like to cook anything? I mean, I hesitate to talk about these things because people absolutely hate it when other people self-diagnose mental issues, which sounds like a very weird tangent when someone asks you if you like cooking, but it's related. People really don't like it when you when you self-diagnose mental issues, but it's also very difficult to get professionally diagnosed in general, but also extremely difficult to get professionally diagnosed during a global pandemic. Because I made an appointment specifically for this to get diagnosed with what I suspect is ADHD. What I highly suspect is ADHD. But I cannot get an appointment because of COVID, which I'm not complaining about because I would much rather that doctors spend their time actually dealing with like COVID patients and other people who need like emergency care. Like I understand that, I'm not complaining in that sense, but do you know what I mean? Like it is difficult to get diagnosed. But I do highly suspect that I have ADHD, which makes it very difficult to do certain things. So one of the reasons that I don't like cooking is because, first of all, I get extremely overwhelmed because buying, like I'm just gonna be very real, like buying specific foods, planning out like meals and like ingredients for meals, I do not know why it is so difficult to me, but it is extremely difficult for me and it's extremely overwhelming for me to like plan everything out and to like buy stuff for myself. But when that part is done, when someone else, for example, has already like bought or planned out the food or whatever, and I have the ingredients in my house, I love cooking. Like, it's just the fact of like actually figuring out what I want to eat when, and buying those ingredients and having them readily available, because like, you know, food rots really quickly, so you need to, like, if you want tomatoes or something, like, you want to buy them recently, and I struggle with that part of it, but I do love cooking a lot. Well, not a lot. I mean, sometimes I'm not in the mood, but when I'm in the mood, I do enjoy cooking. Like, I can cook a lot of stuff quite well, and I do enjoy the process of it, but it's the preparation part that I really struggle with, and I suspect that it is an ADHD thing, because I highly suspect that is what I have. But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that I do. Once I get diagnosed officially, I will officially say that I do, but I'm not officially. I'm trying to be very careful about how I phrase things, but yeah. That's a very, very weird tangent to go on. But there you go. I'm also trying to figure out if I have ADHD. Oh, good luck to you. It is a difficult process. It's a long process, but good luck to you. D'Angelo Wallace has taught me that many big YouTubers can't admit when they're wrong. Yeah, I love D'Angelo as well. I watch D'Angelo a lot, and yes, I agree. I actually watched his video before making my apology video, because when I was filming that, like, one of my biggest fears, I'm gonna be very real with you guys again, like, I feel like I get really real on these lives, but did I make a mistake right here? Did I make a mistake right here? No, I didn't. Okay, there we go. One of my fears when making that video was that I would be, like, perceived differently to how I was trying to present, because, like, I think one of the biggest advantages of the apology video that I made was the fact that I made it before anybody called me out. And the reason that I made it was, like, the reason that I stated in that video, genuinely. Like, I had a conversation with someone on Instagram who is a Russian nutter who makes bracelet patterns and then posts them to VK, or their VK group. And I was just, like, casually talking to them about, like, string or something. I don't even remember, because I was in Russia at the time, and I think I was asking for... Anyway, not the point. I was just casually talking to them, and they brought this up, and they expressed how sad they were, and how it, like, angers them, and at the same time it makes them sad and disappointed, and kind of, like, just exhausted at the fact that, like, people take their patterns and re-upload them onto websites without their permission. And I hadn't thought about it from that perspective before. Like, I mentioned this in the video. Like, I'm basically reiterating what I said in the video, but, you know, since we're talking about it, I thought I'd bring it up. Like, my thought process when I was doing it originally was that, like, I just want to be able to share this with other people. Like, I had no malintent. I didn't want to, like, take credit for it, which is why I made, like, a separate account for it. Like, I wasn't trying to gain anything from it. I just wanted to share these, and I thought that, you know, there was nothing bad in if I was doing it with that intent. But her explaining it to me and telling me how it felt from her side, I was like, oh, wow, I just didn't consider that. So I think just the fact that I didn't wait until someone called me out was probably, like, a big upside. Like, a big... I struggle with my words sometimes, because I think of them in Russian and then I can't think of them in English, and vice versa a lot of the times. Anyway, I just think that was a good way to do it, a good way to make an apology video, like, without waiting for someone to call you out. And I think that helped to some extent for my apology to be perceived in a good way, I guess. I still, like, got a lot of negative comments, obviously, and there's still people who message me to this day who are very angry at me. With that, and I get that, because, like, it's one thing to make an apology and it's another thing entirely for people to actually accept your apology. Like, it's up to them to do that. Why did I even start talking about this? I think Claire said something that YouTubers can't admit their mistakes. Anyway, I was worried about me being perceived like that. I was worried that people are going to perceive me like that I can't admit my mistakes. And as I said, like, I value that very highly in a person. I definitely think that being able to admit to your mistakes and to your faults is a good character trait, and I definitely want to portray that myself. So I did watch D'Angelo's video on apologies before I made my own, to make sure that I didn't come across in the same way that other YouTubers have come across, like, negatively. Anyway. Yeah, there we go. Let me actually read what your comments were saying, because I wasn't reading them. It was a good apology video, thank you. Have you considered getting meal plan boxes like HelloFresh or something? They sent everything you need for each meal in each box. I actually tried HelloFresh. I tried HelloFresh on a, like, free subscription or something, free trial. I like it, but I don't think that it is very financially a smart decision, if that makes sense. Like, they are expensive. And it costs more money to do that. So I struggle with planning and stuff. But still, like, I do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I struggle a lot with it and I hate doing it, but I do it just because I need to. Because it doesn't make financial sense to purchase, like, HelloFresh boxes and stuff like that. There you go. I wasn't expecting to get, like, so deep in the stream today. Like, I genuinely just came onto the stream today to just, like, test the camera and the mic to see if it's any better than usual. And that was the only reason I came. But you guys got me talking about some very deep stuff. People are very harsh on Instagram with those who are suspected to steal patterns in photos, immediately shaming them and such before even asking. I think it's a big problem on Instagram, like I commented already. I think in general, like, I have a lot of thoughts and feelings on, like, topics like this, which I'm not sure if I should be sharing, because people usually don't like it when you share your opinions on stuff. Anyway, I think in general, we should be less harsh to people in general. Like, obviously, it is very different with, like, Me Too movements and whatnot. I am not talking about that at all. I'm not talking about, like, very serious issues. But on less serious issues, I think we should be much nicer to people in general and not try to quote-unquote cancel people for stuff like that. And I'm absolutely not talking about myself here. I'm talking about, you know, people on Instagram, because I saw that happening as well. Like, people messaged me and wanted me to talk about it, but I felt like I wasn't really my place to talk about it at the time. Anyway, I think we should just be nicer to people in general, because, like, what is the point of canceling someone? At least in, like, situations like this, shouldn't we like try to educate people and try to make people, like, see the wrong thing that they are doing in the light that we see it? Like, shouldn't we try to make them understand that what they are doing is wrong and give them a chance to fix their mistakes? I feel like that is much more productive. Like, just by canceling someone, you're essentially just, like, casting them aside and saying that, like, oh, we don't want anything to do with you anymore, type of thing. But that's not productive, I don't think. It's not productive for us, because, you know, it's a very negative emotion to feel, and it's a very negative thing to do, and it's just, like, we're reducing the size of our potential community, and we're, like, casting people out of it. And it's also not productive for them, because that person is not going to then learn from their mistakes if we just be mad at them. I don't know. I mean, you guys seem to be agreeing with me in the chat. I don't know. Obviously, like, it's not about serious issues. Serious issues are completely separate. That's not at all what I'm talking about. There is a line there somewhere between serious and non-serious issues that I'm not going to attempt to define, because I don't think that I should be the one doing that, and I also have no idea, but yeah. Recently, I got accused of stealing my own photos directly in the comments of my pictures, and the person was saying, "I'm not saying you didn't make them, but are you sure you did?" Yeah. Do you know what? Someone who is a great example of being very chill about these things is the Bracelet Book admin. The Bracelet Book admin contacted me, like, way back when in, like, 2018, as when I started making YouTube videos on this martial arts account in English. And, I started uploading them onto Bracelet Book, obviously, right? Because I wanted to share them. He let me upload a few videos without asking any questions, but once he realized that I'm literally, like, uploading every single video that this channel is making, he got a little suspicious. And so he DM'd me, and he was like, "Hey, like, I'm just checking in. Like, I'm absolutely not accusing you of anything, but I'm just checking in. Can you please confirm that you are actually this person and you're not just like taking someone else's videos and uploading them as your own. Like, are you actually like Masha Knots? Because my account on YouTube is Masha Knots, and then my Bracer Book account is Raccoon, so it didn't add up. And I loved that because that wasn't confrontational at all. He was just like very chill, like so nice. And he was like, hey, like just, you know, checking in. And so I messaged him back and I was like, hey, yeah, like if you check in the comment, in the description of the video, you can actually see a direct link to my Bracer Book account, and it links to this account. So that, you know, is proof that this is the real person, you know, it's my real account. And in that same video, I made sure to like, you know, tell him how appreciative I am of the fact that he is defending me, I guess. Like, as a creator, he's making sure that I am actually uploading my own creation, and I thought that was very admirable. And so I made sure to thank him for that. So yeah, ever since then, he, you know, has let me upload my own videos, which is really nice. So I think that's a good example of being like very chill and non-confrontational about it. Yeah, admin is super chill. He does a good job. Yeah, I think he's very chill. I think his job is kind of hard because, you know, there's a lot of things to manage and people are always unhappy. There's been a few situations, which I'm sure you remember, Claire, and potentially other people, where like it's been a bit controversial and people will want, like one group of people was wanting one thing, another group of people was wanting another thing. So I think his job is difficult in that sense, especially considering it's his, you know, side gig. He actually has a full-time job. But I do respect what he does, yeah. I'm getting a little low. I should probably, one sec. I should probably move down a little. Let's move down here. No, probably a little more. Like here. There we go. Yeah, have like a piece of tape and then a piece of washi over it. Also, let me move back. I have tape here, because you guys seem to think that that washi tape is the only thing holding the bracelet together. No, I have strings going in through the loop, and then I have tape covering those strings, you know, just for extra grip. And then I have a piece of regular tape and then washi over that. But then I move my camera down here, so you guys don't see all of that, and you only see the washi. There we go. But in reality, there is much more tape holding it there. It's just, the washi's there to make it look pretty. Who is Claire? Claire is the person with the like wrench, the gear thing in the chat. But Claire is also a creator on Instagram, who I talk to. And is also a mod on Bracelet Book. Also, I don't know, Claire, do you post on YouTube right now? She used to. I don't know if you do now. And I'm gonna read the comments. Sorry, one sec. Do you think you'll still make bracelets when/if you do have kids? I probably will have kids. I don't know when. Closer to my 30s. I'm 22. So not anytime soon. Probably. I mean, I've been making bracelets for the past 11 years. I don't see myself stopping anytime soon. Also, I think that it'll be like a cute thing to teach my kids how to do. And like a bonding moment type of thing. I think it'll be cute. So yeah. People are giving him way too much flack. It's hard for people to imagine doing his job and trying to make everyone happy. Yeah, making everyone happy is very literally impossible. It is also very hard to make the majority happy in general, but you also have to consider, like, you cannot not consider the fact that this man has a full-time job that he attends literally every single day, and any work that he does on Bracelet Book is either done in the evenings after his main job or on the weekends. Like, he doesn't have that much time to actually actively work on Bracelet Book, so I think he gets so much flack that he does not deserve. I've only done Rainbow Loom on YouTube. I don't think I have time to make bracelet YouTube tutorials right now. But I post written ones on Bracelet Book. Well, there you go. Have you made any more wall hangings? I have made this one. This one. The pattern for this is in my Bracelet Book to-dos. I'm sorry. I don't know the pattern number offhand, but it's on my Bracelet Book to-dos. My Bracelet Book account is linked in the description for anyone who doesn't know. But I made this as a wall hanging. I really, really like it. I think it's really cute. I made this in like one day. Because I was kind of bored that day, and I just was like, okay, I'm gonna make this. So yeah, I'm planning on making a video about wall hangings potentially soon. Have you watched The Office US? I feel like this question gets asked every single stream. I wonder why. Are people like really, really obsessed with The Office? I mean, I know they are, but I didn't think it was like still a thing, like that much. But yes, I have watched it very recently, and I love it a lot. Do you like fruit tea? I do. I have a whole box full of. Well, that's not fruit, is it? Raspberry. I was gonna say raspberry tea. It's not really fruit tea. But that's the one that I prefer. Yes. Although to be fair, right now I just drink Earl Grey. Really. People are really disgusted by my tea drinking habits, especially British people. They get really, really disgusted because I drink Earl Grey tea on its own. Like, just I put a tea bag and water, and that is it. Like, I don't add milk, I don't add sugar, I don't add anything. I just drink Earl Grey tea, and I very much enjoy it. I drink it like in the mornings for breakfast or whatever. But people get really upset that I don't add anything into it, and I don't know why. It's not that bad. Like, it's actually really nice. I don't know why people get so upset, but they do. I've heard someone say that the British version of The Office is better. I haven't seen it either. Do you have a favorite? I haven't actually seen the British version yet. Like, I've seen bits of it, like clips online. I'm planning on starting it. I think British humor is very, very specific, and I think Americans, like, in general, like, obviously I don't actually know, but in general, I think why it was remade for American audiences is because Americans don't really understand that type of humor. British humor is very mean. It's very harsh, it's very mean, and it's very awkward. That's the kind of humor that British television has. Awkwardness, meanness, and like harshness in general. So like I think it's just very different in that sense. Like it's much more like just mean. I don't know. I've seen clips of it. I haven't seen the full thing, but I'm planning on watching the entire thing. Yeah. Looking at British cuisine online, I don't think they have the right to judge taste in general. I will not comment on that. There are some British foods that I very much enjoy, but I will not comment on that. For anyone wondering, I season my food. I very much season my food. My favorite is garlic. Just chopping garlic and putting garlic everywhere. Which I know is a very basic seasoning, but nonetheless, I just like put garlic, and when I can't put garlic, I put garlic powder, but I prefer to put just garlic everywhere. Anyway, it's kind of a little bit irrelevant. What am I doing? I was not following the pattern. I absolutely hope that I didn't make a mistake here. I'm kind of relying on the fact that you guys are going to tell me in the chat if I made a mistake. You know what? Like, if you notice that I made a mistake, please tell me. Please tell me. But I don't think I did. I do not think I did. Also that Americans don't drink water. I'm sorry I had to. Okay, can we not? Can we not remember that embarrassment? I got here late. Have you or will you make a tutorial for this bracelet? I got here... oh, you pressed the same thing twice. I have not made a tutorial for this bracelet, and I probably will not make a tutorial for this bracelet because I cannot make tutorials for every single bracelet that exists. But the pattern for it is in the description. There's a link to the pattern for it in the description. Americans who microwave tea. Oh my god, yeah, I did not realize that that was a thing. I saw a TikTok of a woman, like an American woman, saying like, oh my god, you guys, I found this such like amazing thing. It's a water boy, like you should get it. It makes me sad. It makes me very sad. It's called a kettle. I mean, no. I cannot comment on that. How is your new apartment? Our new apartment is really good. Thank you very much. It's like twice as big as the old one, which I'm very happy about. There's actually space to walk and, you know, do stuff. So, oh, I just kicked something. Oh, that's my can of compressed air that I use to clean stuff. I very much enjoy that part of our apartment, but we are having like some issues with it, which we notified the landlord about, so hopefully they get fixed soon. But the main thing that is horrible in our apartment is that we don't have fiber optic, which I'm very sad about, which is for the internet. I'm very sad about that. And also, our ceilings are really, really high, and our kitchen/living room area is absolutely huge. So that room is massive, and the ceilings are really high, and the heating here is very expensive. So we only heat the amount that we absolutely need to, because it is extremely expensive, and we are broke because none of us have like proper jobs at the moment. So we cannot afford to heat to the, you know, perfect degree. So we end up heating just enough to keep our bedrooms warm, because that's where we spend the majority of the time anyway. And that is not enough to actually warm the kitchen/living room area. So the kitchen/living room area ends up being a fridge. And I am absolutely not exaggerating. It is a genuine fridge. I leave butter out and like eggs out just on the counter or like on the shelf thing, because there is absolutely no point in putting it into the fridge, because it is so cold that the butter is like rock solid. So I try not to hang out in the kitchen because it's cold. So yeah, that is the two things that I don't like about this new flat, but in general, I very much like it. I bought a rice cooker about a month ago, and my mum and sister, it took my mum and sister about a week to comprehend that it's a device that cooks rice perfectly. They never heard of it before. Oh no! It's a rice cookers are great. Like, I have a multi-cooker, which isn't just a rice cooker. Like, it cooks tons of things, which I don't know. Maybe rice cookers do that too. I don't know. But I cook rice in it, and it's perfect. You just, you know, put your washed rice in there, and you put water in there, and it's done in 15 minutes. So, yay. Masha, do you have an electric blanket at least? No, I don't, but, like, that's what I said. Like, we heat it up just to heat up our bedrooms. Like, it's fine in our bedrooms. It's just, like, really cold in the kitchen. It's fine in our bedrooms. I have a water bottle. Like, I have a hot water bottle that's, like, fluffy and nice. I put hot water in it. I put on my fluffy socks, and I get into my bed. And I sleep under, like, 3 blankets. So it's fine. It's fine. You should never put eggs in the fridge. It's fine to put eggs in the fridge. It's fine. Like, I know that in Europe you don't have to do that. And I don't usually do that anyway. But it's fine to put eggs in the fridge. Like, it's not terrible to do that. Also, I have no choice. My room, like, my kitchen is just cold anyway. It's a fridge in itself. What happened to the cat wall hanging? Did you finish it? I didn't finish it. You keep missing my streams. I'm so sorry. I keep saying this in every single stream, but you probably missed all of them. Yeah, Fork did not survive the move because it was made on like the wall hanging. It was made on a dowel. It snapped while I was moving. So yeah. People, okay, eggs in the fridge, like, is a very is not a topic that I expected to be talking about on stream today. It's different. The way that eggs are processed in, like, countries of Europe and in countries of Americas is different. So in the Americas, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't remember. Like, I've been to the Americas a couple times, but I don't remember. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure your eggs come out of the fridge in the stores. Like, your eggs are stored in fridges, in your stores. Right? But in the EU, they don't. They just store them, like, on the shelf. Like, they're not in the fridge. Because they process it. There's, like, YouTube videos about it. Eggs are refrigerated in stores. Yeah, like, there's, like, whole YouTube videos about it. There's, like, a whole different, like, the process at which your eggs come from the chicken to your store is different in the America to the US, to the EU, sorry. Which is why, like, you don't have to put them in the fridge here. But you also can, like, doesn't really matter. In Australia, they are not in the fridge. Americans put their eggs in the refrigerator. Yeah, but see, I think Americans have to, because that's it. I'm not an expert on this. The amount of knowledge that I have is based on, like, one YouTube video that I watched on the topic, which randomly appeared in my recommended feed, which you are free to search, you know, later if you want to. But yeah, like, it's somehow due to the process at which the eggs actually reach your shelf. There you go. You can get E. coli from unbaked flour. Oh no, that, no. I have no idea if we can get that in the EU. I never thought about that. Please don't refrigerate them. I don't put them in the fridge. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're on my shelf. They're just on my shelf, but it's really, really cold there. Like, my kitchen is a fridge. There's nothing I can do about that. It just is. I mean, I'll Google this. Like, more than one person has told me to not put them in the fridge. I'll Google it. Maybe I'll just start keeping them in the hall. I'm not an expert, exactly. I think in other countries that make them kill the E. coli. I don't know what other countries though. Is my mum alive? That is a very weird question. She is. Thank you. It's just a very weird way to phrase a question. We're gonna get Masha one of those heating fridges they have in Undertale. Ooh, I need to look that up. Can you please make more beginner bracelet videos? I'm trying to learn, and I only watch your channel, and you have helped me a lot. Thank you! I'm really glad to hear that. I try to make, I try to vary. I try to make beginner content, and then, like, intermediate content. I try to, like, mix it up. I've been making more sort of, like, intermediate/advanced content lately, because I feel like I've just made everything there is to make for beginners, to be honest. Like, I don't really know. If you have a specific video suggestion for beginner content, then you can let me know. Also, for those of you who don't know, I have a Discord server. There we go, I forgot the word for server. I have a Discord server. It is linked in the description of this video. There's an invite to join the Discord server. We chat there about random stuff. And you can, there's like a video suggestion tab there where you can suggest videos. I look through it. I never comment. I probably should start commenting there more. But I look through it like every time I'm making a list for making videos. So there you go. My dad gave my mom a poached egg cooker for Christmas, and she got so offended because she thought that she could cook eggs perfectly. Perfectly well, thank you very much. That's really funny. That's such a... Are you British? Because that feels like a really British thing. Are you married? I am married. I got married in 2018. I've been married for just over 2 years. Is your dad alive? Thank you very much. My parents are very much alive. My grandparents are very much alive. Why are people interested in the alive status of my family? You inspired me to make more bracelets. Oh, that's awesome to hear. Thank you. That's really nice. Got my stepmom an egg cooker. Why are egg cookers a thing? Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing? Because of the virus. It's still a very weird thing to ask a person if their parents are alive. I don't know. It's weird. No, everyone is very much alive. Thank you. We're trying to keep safe. Would you do another Among Us stream? It was very fun to watch. I might at some point. Not, I don't have it planned at the moment, but I might at some point, yeah. Do you plan on having kids, and what would you want to name your kids in the future? I actually have a couple of baby names in my mind. I said it earlier in the stream. I plan on having kids eventually, probably closer to my 30s. I am 22. I do not plan on having kids anytime soon. I am nowhere near financially stable or mentally stable enough for that at the moment. Egg cookers let you cook your eggs really quickly. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that. But yeah, in terms of baby names, I have a couple of baby names, which I will not be sharing. Because do you know what? I am so pissed off. So pissed off. I'm so pissed off. Basically, I'll set the scene. It is 2015, I think. It is 2015. We are in the car. Our entire family is in the car, being me, my mum, my dad, and my two sisters, my older and my younger sister. We're all in the car. And they're just like on a road trip somewhere. We're going somewhere. And I bring up the topic of baby names. And I'm like, hey, like, I have this baby name that Stefan and I talked about and we both really like. And I'm probably, like, highly likely gonna use it sometime in the future because we've already been, like, talking about it for a while. Like, should I or should I not bring it up so that you guys know not to use it? Because, you know, my older sister has a high chance of using a baby name earlier than me because she is 5 years older than me and is probably going to have kids earlier than I will. Like, she's probably planning kids now. Anyway, another point. And so, yeah, like, we talked about it, and it's like, oh, is it better to just, like, not say it and hope that people won't use it, or should I say it and, you know, just ask not to use it? And so we, like, talked about it for a bit on the car ride, and I ended up saying it. I was like, okay, this is a specific baby name that Stefan and I really like, and we're probably gonna name our child. That was, what, 2015? That was 6 years ago? Yeah, everyone remembers that conversation except for, conveniently, my older sister, who, like, a year ago was like, oh, do you know what? We thought of this amazing baby name that we really want to name our future daughter, and proceeds to tell me the name that I picked out. Well, Stefan actually thought of it, but whatever. Like, I had for my future daughter. And we are still, to this day, it's been actually like 2 years since she told me that. It's been 2 years, and I am still actively fighting with her about this specific baby name. I told her that I will not be talking to her if she steals my baby name. Everyone thinks that I am so petty, that, like, I'm not even pregnant. I'm not planning on being pregnant for years and years and years. Like, why am I so, like, being so petty about it? I do not care that I'm not planning on having kids in a really long time. I told you about this specific name that I want to use for my future child. I was so pissed off. Anyway, my mum is the only person who actually understands why I am so mad at it. Because, like, she conveniently doesn't remember, but everyone else does, and backs me up. And my mum is like, yeah, don't worry, I will get her to drop it. I'm like, please do. Like, my mum is actually on my side and actually understands it. Exactly, the audacity, I picked it first, that's the point. And I'm so mad about it. And she will not let it go, and her husband also really likes it, and they're both, like, ganging up on me. And I'm so annoyed. Exactly, that's very rude. Thank you. I know. I'm not crazy. Like, it's not... Do you know what I mean? Like, it was 2015. It's been 6 years. And I still really like that baby name. And Stefan still really likes that baby name. And when we do eventually have kids, like, multiple years from now, I still want to use that name. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just, like, a random fleeting idea that we had. Like, no, I'm still very much consistent with it. So, yeah. I do, like, love my sister a lot, though. Like, it's not... She's not, like, a terrible sister, if that makes sense. Like, it's just not a very good character trait that I used to introduce her here. But she's actually really nice and very lovely. But, moral of the story, don't share baby names, exactly. Is it a boy or a girl name? It was a name for a daughter. I think girl names are easier to come up with, at least for me. I don't know why. Anyway, because, like, the thing is as well, why it's difficult for us is because, like, it's more difficult for her, I think, than it is for me. We are Russian, right? We're both Russian. She married a Czech guy from the Czech Republic. So Stefan and I, for, you know, boy, girl, whatever kind of, you know, kids we end up having, we need to have names that sound good in Russian with his Russian last name, which is Makarova, which is what I have, and also sounds good in English and sounds relatively similar in both languages, and that is extremely difficult to do. Like, there's only so many names that sound similar and good in both languages that we both happen to like. Like, it's very difficult to actually come up with a name like that, and I think it's just more difficult to do that with boys. But with her, I think, with my sister, it's even more difficult because not only does she have Russian and English to worry about, she also has to worry about, you know, Czech. So yeah. You might only get boys. I know I might only get boys, and, you know, if I do, I do. I'm still very pissed off about this situation. It's about the principle of the matter, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, it's just annoying. It's just annoying. I wanted to name my potential future kid Jamie, but a terrible person with the same name appeared in my life, so I don't know what to name them now. Oh, that's really sad. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that sucks. You know what? My dad really didn't want to name me Maria. Because he had a woman called Maria who owed him money at the time. But my mum really liked it and insisted on calling me Maria anyway, so... Yeah. How's it going with the bracelet book thing? I'm actually working on it. Don't tell anyone because I don't want people to get overly excited about it, but I am actively working on it. So hopefully soon. We worked on it with the admin like the other day. Like just 2 days ago, I think. And then I got a migraine, so I ended up not doing anything. My aunt named me. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I have a bit of a weird naming story. Like, my family isn't super religious, but right before... I was born on the 7th of April, which apparently... Am I doing this wrong? Oh, no. There we go. I'm going to the left. Which is apparently the day that, like, the angel came down to Mary and told her that, like, she was pregnant or something. I think, at least in... I don't know, it might be different in, like, Catholic Christians or whatever. For Orthodox Christians, that is the 7th of April, and in Orthodox Christianity, her name is not Mary, her name is Maria. Devo Maria, like in Russian. So I was born on the 7th of April, and my mum also had a dream that she was supposed to call me Maria. And because I was born on the 7th of April, which is like the day that like the angel came down and to talk to Maria, or Mary, my mum felt very strongly that that was what she was supposed to name me. So, there you go. But which is really weird to me, because my family isn't super religious. Like, I don't know why she put so much value onto that, while also not being that religious. I don't know. But that's why I named Maria, despite the fact that my dad didn't like a specific Maria that owed him money at the time. I'm named after St. Clair, but for some reason they added an I. Yep. My stepmom named me. She didn't know my parents were getting divorced. And she would be my stepmom. Oh, she just didn't know. Oh, that's cool. Where'd you get the washi tape? Amazon. I don't know the specific listing because I got it like years ago, but Amazon. Alright, let me get some water. Give me a sec. I've been talking for an hour and a half. Where's my jug of water? The new mic sounds great. Thank you! I'm very, very happy with the new mic. I'm very excited to listen to the playback once I finish the stream. Also, I figured out that I can also record my streams through... Sorry, I probably can't hear me very well now that I went back. I figured out that I can record my streams through OBS. So while I am streaming, I'm also recording, so I can then upload it onto Masha Streams. And so I don't have to like download it off of YouTube, because when you download it off of YouTube, you can only download in 720 and not 1080. Okay, one sec, let me just drink. There we go. Just needed some water. Also, I want to make a new thing. The way that I am streaming right now is, obviously I have this camera in the corner, and then I have the chat down there, and then, you know, any donations or subscriptions or whatever, like I have Twitch subscriptions, but obviously not here. They show up here, like super chats and anything like that. They show up as notifications at the top. I need to figure out what I want to do at the bottom. I'm probably like going to put my handles there. Anyway, what I'm saying is I just have like a picture in the background right now, but I want to make an actual design, since I know how to do that, and I should have just done that a while ago. So I need to figure out how to... I need to do a design, basically. I want to make a design. It's almost 10 p.m. in London, exactly. Yes. People are asking what time is it. It's 15 to 10. People don't say that in English, do they? That's a Russian thing. 9:46. There we go. In Russia, we say like 15 to 10. Oh, you could say quarter to 10. Yeah, you do say it in English, just it sounds different. Do you prefer multicolored or sparkly thread? I like both, and I like using both in bracelets because I think they look really cool. But if I had to choose to get rid of one, I would choose to keep multicolored thread because it's just more exciting. What did I do? Why did I make a forward knot here? Oh, I made it because I was supposed to. That answers my question. I thought I made a mistake, but I was actually right. To begin with. There we go. I'm either going to make another Treat People with Kindness keychain or a mini starburst. I haven't decided yet. Both. Do both. I don't know. Oh, I should probably I should probably order those keychain things that are like a D-shaped keyring. I keep forgetting to do that. I should really do that, and I should make a keychain, because I've seen people like do them a lot. I should really do that. I made my own Derek while watching your streams. Oh, that's awesome. Have you ever been to the Netherlands? I have, but not consciously. Like, I was 3 when I was in the Netherlands. And I was in Amsterdam, and we visited like a bunch of other places in the Netherlands. But I was 3, and I remember it a little bit, but very, very barely. Because when I was 3, I was living with my parents, obviously. But we lived in France. We lived in, I'm going to attempt pronunciation, Fontainebleau. I don't know how to pronounce that very well, but it's like just under Paris. It's like a little city under Paris. We lived there because my dad went to school there. He went to, I don't remember what school, but he went to school there. And then over the winter, I think, or over the summer, I don't remember, my parents decided to go on a road trip together, and they took me, and I was a little baby 3-year-old. My older sister at the time was living with my grandma, because basically, it's a very long story, but she was living with my grandma for like that year, and then she moved back, because they didn't want to pull her out of school for the time that my dad was in education. But which we ended up moving to the UK anyway, so we pulled her out of school anyway, but we originally thought that we were going to go back. We only were going for a year. Anyway, that's the gist of it. So we ended up going, me and my parents, just like the 3 of us, on like a road trip across Europe, and I remember bits and pieces of it, but I don't remember it very well. So yeah, I've been, but not really. I really want to go, though. Have you ever been to New Zealand? No, I've never been to any part of, like, Oceania. Is that how you pronounce it in English? I don't know. Oceania? Oceania? The continent. Like, Australia and co. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, I've never been down there, no. I really want to go, though. It seems like such a cool place. Did you get snow today? I did, and it was so exciting. I recommend getting both 0.75 and 1-inch keychains. It's really nice to be able to pick either size. Oceania. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. I don't know. I'll Google it after the stream. My parents took me to Disneyland when I was a year-old baby, and they count that as one of my Disney trips, but I don't. Do you know what? Same. The first time my parents took me to Disneyland, I think I was like, well, not 1, I think I was like 3. That was actually the same time we were living in under Paris, because, like, you know, there's Disneyland in Paris. I don't remember a single thing of that. I do not remember that at all, but they always tell me that they took me to Disneyland, which I'm like, great, I don't remember. Idea for a vlog? I'd love to see a packing Patreon packages vlog. Ooh, I'm about to film that, actually. I still haven't done that, because there's a lot of them. Haven't done that. I started doing that, but I haven't done that yet. So yeah, I'm gonna film that, yeah. Don't French people hate Disneyland Paris? I have no idea. Is there drama? I don't know it. Tea? People have spilled tea? I don't know. I have not seen it. I have a problem, Masha. My teacher saw a bracelet that they want me to make them, but some of them, they aren't going to pay me. And I have a lot of stuff to make now. What do I do? Oh, I hate that. I hate it when people expect you to make stuff for free for them. I don't know, can someone in the chat give some advice to this person? I really don't know, because, like, I'm not usually in these situations, and I'm kind of socially awkward, and I really don't know how to handle these kinds of things. I really don't know. Say you can't. I mean, that's, like, a very simple solution that makes sense to me, and that is probably what I would do, but I really don't know. I love Disneyland Paris. Masha, do you double the bass strings? I have never tried that. I've seen people do it, but personally I've never tried that. Claire, have you ever tried that? Have you doubled bass strings? I know that you have for... Or was it not? I'm not sure. Anyway, Claire, have you ever doubled bass strings? Did you do that for the Brick Stitch Alpha? Were the bass strings doubled there? Okay, I don't remember. I think they were, right? Like, that's the whole point of the Brick Stitch Alpha. I'm trying to remember now, because I haven't actually looked into it for a while. I want to make a tutorial on that, and I started planning making one a while ago, but I never actually got around to doing it, because I ended up moving and Christmas, and I need to do that. I can't remember because I looked at it a while ago. Anyway, not the point. I've doubled my bass strings. It makes my knots look so much better. I really want to try that. I should try that. What TV shows do you watch? What am I watching right now? I just finished Disenchantment season 3. I'm not actively watching anything right now, I don't think, actually. I just finished watching The Office, which is what I was watching actively recently. I'm not actively watching anything right now, I don't think. I don't need to double bass strings. I work better with them undoubled. When I doubled them for the Brick Stitch Alpha, I make sure they're half the thickness. Oh, there you go. So I split 6-strand floss into 3 strands each. That makes sense. Sounds very tedious, but makes sense. Yeah. I don't know, I've never tried it. I should probably try it at some point. At school, I always get asked, can you make me a bracelet? It's so annoying. And I say, okay, how much? And they're like, I'm not going to pay for it. Like, no. Exactly. People should appreciate other people's work. I got that a lot at school. And I always told people to pay me for it. And some people actually did buy bracelets off of me, which was really nice. I didn't charge, like, a huge amount, but, like, still. So, yeah. I'm kind of, I'm in the process of... Ooh, Doctor Who, does that count? I watched Doctor Who recently, the Jodie Whittaker series. And I'm also rewatching the Tenet era, because that's my favorite. I gave up. YouTube really doesn't let us use certain emojis. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you memorize the pattern? Generally, yeah. Overall, I have memorized the pattern, but I do also have it on screen just in case. Because I tend to be very distracted when I'm streaming, because I'm looking at the chat. And I'm not actually looking at the bracelet very much. So I tend to get really distracted. So I do have it up. Just in case. But I do also remember it. What bracelets are you planning on making tutorials for? I'm not planning on making any tutorials at the moment. The next tutorial I'm probably going to make is probably going to be for wall hangings. Which isn't very, bracelet specific. I'm also really want to make the Brick Stitch Alpha thing as a tutorial, which is also not a specific pattern. I'm not planning on making specific pattern tutorials in like the near-ish future, like within the next 2 weeks. I'm not planning on doing that because I just did 2 very recently. Can you say this? I'm not saying anything I do not understand. Absolutely not. My name is Katie. Did you get my letter in the mail yet? I'm so sorry, I haven't checked my P.O. box in like the past 2 weeks. I keep planning on checking it, but then I go to bed at like 7 a.m. and I end up waking up when the post office is already closed. So I haven't checked in a really long time. I'm really sorry, but I'm gonna check it this week. Well, this starting week. What is it? Sunday today? Is it Sunday? It is Sunday today, right? What? Yeah, it is Sunday today. Anyway, the week that's starting, I'm gonna check it this week. Yeah. What? I have no idea what you're talking about with the NCIS. What is that? What is that? What does that mean? Do you have any other hobbies other than making bracelets? I like to play video games. I play sandbox games and such. I play Sims 2 specifically. I don't like The Sims 4. I play The Sims 2. I play Stardew Valley. I play City Skylines, Prison Architect, Planet Coaster. What else do I play? I really like the game Turmoil with the oil, but I also beat it, so I don't really play it that much. I play Animal Crossing. I like to play video games. I also like to read a lot. Although I struggle to find the time to do that. I also really, really like journaling and like bullet journaling, which I used to do a lot of. I don't do that as much now, but I did get like a pre-filled bullet journal, which coloring in is not a hobby. Like I try to make it my own by like coloring it in and like adding stickers and washi tapes to it. So yeah. You know what? I'm actually going to show you guys. I started coloring it in for February already because, you know, the month is ending. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to get it. And I want to show you guys. I was going to show it to you guys on Instagram. But since you guys are here, I might as well show it to you guys here as well. So this is the... Oh, let me unzoom. Ooh. Ooh. Can you still see? Is it still focused? I think it is. You can see the tripod. Sorry about that. So this is what the setup looks like when you unzoom. That's the tripod legs. the camera is like filming down and it's filming upside down, and then I flip it in the editing software. Or in this case, in the streaming software. Anyway, this is a journal that I got. It's by Amanda Rach Lee. Yes, someone recognized her. There you go. Yeah, she's a YouTuber here on YouTube and also a streamer now, I think, as well. She streams on Twitch. Yeah, she's like a bullet journal YouTuber. She makes like bullet journal videos, and I really, really like it. Like this. I really like her videos, and I really like this. This is her merch. Like, she created this entire thing. Someone said, yeah, that I really like the doodles at the top. Yeah, she made this entire thing, and this is like her doodles. And it's got like a beautiful little charm at the end as well, which I accidentally colored with red, which I'm very annoyed with. And I don't really know how to fix that, but it now just has a red blotch on it. Anyway, she made this journal. I'm gonna try not to show you any personal stuff. Anyway, like, this is the spread for May. Like, she made this journal. It's pre-filled with spreads for the months. Like, this is June, July. Like, it's got different themes for different months. And then all the spreads for the month as well. You've got like habit trackers, mood trackers, and then, you know, the monthly spreads, you know, look different for each month. It's just a basic monthly spread. Basically, I really enjoyed bullet journaling before, but I got really overwhelmed with it because mental problems. And I ended up dropping it, but I really, really liked it. And so I basically made myself a promise that if I actually use this for an entire year, or at least the majority of the year, then I will allow myself to, oh, sorry, I want to crack my bag, to get a proper one, like a empty one for next year. But I might not do that, actually. I might just keep this. Anyway, I didn't really love what I did for January, because this is the way that I colored in January, and I didn't love it. But I also struggled with the theme. Like, I didn't really know how to color this theme, and I didn't really love the theme for January. Which is like, this is what the January theme like looks like. I don't love it. But February is very different. February, I'm still coloring it in, still like half empty. But February's theme is roses. And I colored in the mood tracker and habit tracker already. I think it looks really pretty, and I like it a lot. Can you see it? Well, yeah, there we go. So I already colored in some of the weekly spreads as well. Like, look at this. Look how pretty. I really like it. There you go. So I'm very excited about February. I think February is going to be a better month because it's colored in a way that I like more. Let me put it to the side. There we go. Let's get back to this bracelet. Ooh, let me read what you guys are saying, because I didn't actually read. I noticed you were subscribed to her the other day. Yeah, I really like her. I've been watching her for years. I've been watching Amanda Rach Lee since before she became Amanda Rach Lee, because her YouTube channel used to be called Amanda Doodles, I think. Which is kind of funny, because my channel is Masha Nuts and hers was Amanda Doodles. I didn't even realize that until like right now. That's kind of funny. But yeah, I've been watching her for years. I really like her. What is the most you ever spent on bracelets at once? Ooh. Like $200, I think. Like, I buy a lot of my string in bulk. I did that video, right, where I spent like $100 and something on string. I did that video a few years ago. Or like, what, 2 years ago, I think. But yeah, because I buy my string in bulk, I tend to spend a lot of money on string in one go. And then just like not buy string for a really long time. Why are you streaming on YouTube and not Twitch? I don't know, I just felt like it. I'm also considering coming back to YouTube to stream in general and like stop streaming on Twitch and come back here. Just because like there's more people here and I feel like I was excluding people by being on Twitch. I originally went there because I thought that there were more opportunities for creating content, which there are, because like it has a lot of cool features specifically for streamers, like channel points and such, but I don't think it really fits my specific content very well, because like, oh, I forgot to zoom in, I'm sorry. There we go. Is it? I can barely tell. Let me just make this a little bit bigger so I can actually tell if I am. There we go. Is this good? Is this? Nope. Nope. Is this properly focused? I hope so. What was I saying? I thought there were more opportunities on Twitch, which there are, because there's channel points and such, but it doesn't really fit my style of content very well anyway. And the majority of you guys are here. So I don't know if it makes sense for me anymore to be there. If a person asks me weird questions in English, I always say, me no speak English in my best Russian accent. That's how I get away with it. Do you know what? I live in an area where we get a lot of people who just like come up to you and start talking to you about like random things. It can be about absolutely anything. Like they can be trying to sell you drugs. They can be trying to get money out of you. They can be trying to get you to like join your religion. They can be just asking you about anything. Or it can just be creepy men like wanting your attention and whatever. Like it's just, you walk up and down the street and people just like start talking to you. And my best way to answer is "Я не понимаю, что вы говорите. Я вас не понимаю, что вы мне говорите," which is essentially just like I don't understand what you're saying, but I don't even attempt saying it in English with a Russian accent because like no, I'm not even gonna do that. I just speak to them in Russian and just like say like "Я вас не понимаю, я не понимаю, что вы говорите," and they get really freaked out and leave me alone. Works like 10 out of 10. Like it has never not worked for me. It always works. It always works. So I very much recommend pretending you don't speak English when someone is annoying you. Let me lower this again. Wow, I've made a lot of this bracelet with you guys. I'm lowering this the second time already. Anyway, I recently taught Thomas that trick because it happens to him as well. Do you know what's annoying and kind of sexist? Like, I mean, it's stupid to complain about this in terms of sexism, but still, like, funny sexist. When people come up to us on the street and offer us drugs, which is usually like, you know, okay, I'm not gonna get it, just like not like hard drugs, you know, but still, when people come up to us on the street and offer us drugs, they usually just come up to Thomas, and they're like, "Hey, my man, like, do you want these drugs?" And they don't even acknowledge me. It's like, what if I want drugs? Like, you don't know. Maybe he doesn't do any, but I do. Like, why are you just talking to the man in this, like, situation? It's such a stupid thing to complain about, but I just find it kind of funny. Yeah, they never, ever, nobody has ever approached me to sell me drugs. So, sexism. Yeah. Masha, you are so awesome. Why is that coming after my rant that people won't sell me drugs? I mean, thank you, but I'm a family-friendly streamer. Yeah. Anyway, it works. I taught him how to do that, and now people have stopped harassing him as well, so. Am I the only one who spoke gibberish with my cousin in public like we are exotic? I don't know. I think because they think it's a guy thing. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, why are you assuming? I used to work in London, in a London bus tourist booth, and we had people. And when people had a question, they would just ask them in their own language. Like, I don't know what you're saying. Oh yeah, that happens. Also, when I was in America, well, I mean, my family lives in Florida, so I was in Florida. And I'm that kind of complexion because I think it's because I'm Armenian. I'm not just like white. I mean, Armenian is still white, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm not just like, I don't know how to describe it. Armenian people tan is all I'm trying to say. And because I am like a big part Armenian, I tan and I don't just burn like a lot of my white friends do and like Stefan does. Like Stefan, if he goes out into the sun, or like my mum, who is exclusively white, if they go out into the sun, they just burn completely. But because I have that little bit of Armenian in me, at least I think that's why, I don't burn. I tan, and I tan extremely quickly. So I would get really, really tan, and people in Florida would automatically assume that I'm Latina, I think, and they would just start speaking Spanish to me all the time. Like, they just would not, like, skip a beat. They would just, like, come up to me and start speaking Spanish. And I'm like, ooh, like, chill. I have no idea what you're saying to me right now. And that was so weird because I had no idea. Like, I had no idea. Which is also really interesting because, like, living in London, you get people from all over the world. Absolutely all over the world. There's people from everywhere. And I find it fascinating that people have no idea where I come from. And not the fact, I mean, obviously, like, you know, people generally don't really know where you come from, like, that's fine. It's not that fact that I find fascinating. What I find fascinating is that people like to assume that I come from the country that they come from. So, like, when I worked at the restaurant, right, or, like, in a cafe or wherever, I worked in many places in retail, people would always assume that I'm from their country, whether that is Brazil, Spain, I don't know, Italy, wherever, like, just a lot of different places, wherever. People always assumed I'm from their country, and I found that absolutely fascinating, and also so heartwarming, I guess. I don't know, it just seems lovely, because, like, people are so open and so nice, and they just want you to be a part of, I don't know, it just felt really nice. It felt like they wanted to include me in something, and they saw me as one of their own people, I guess. I don't know, it just felt really nice. And it was always I always enjoyed getting to know new people in the workplace, which is, like, one thing that I do miss, getting to know people. Which, at the same time, I don't really miss, because a lot of people were kind of mean and horrible, but still, it was nice. Let me read the comments. I haven't actually read the chat for a while. I lost motivation. Any tips to stay motivated? I don't know. I'm so sorry. I mean, getting out of a bracelet slump, it helps to make a bracelet that, you know, you like, but also just, like, you know, take a break sometimes. It's fine. Like, you don't have to do an activity all of the time to enjoy it. Just take a break, and then when you come back, you enjoy it even more. When you're as white as a ghost and you just burn. Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, Stefan burns. My mum burns. Like, instantly. But my dad and we don't, because I think it's because of the Armenian. But I'm not entirely sure. Oh, let me actually scroll down now, because... Oh, my chat skipped. There we go. I would have freaked out if someone randomly came up to me and started selling me drugs. Yeah, it's not very pleasant, to be honest. They're not aggressive. They're just, like, casually like, hey, you want drugs? But as I said, we don't live in a particularly safe area, so it happens. You were spamming the same message over and over again. Oh, Jake is saying something. Okay, Jake is a mod. Jake knows what he's doing. Thank you, Jake. Jake is also a friend of mine, for those who are just joining. Looking at pictures on Instagram or bracelet book is really helpful to get out of a bracelet slump. Do you know what? I agree. I second that, and that is also something that I do. I tend to look at other people's pictures and look at what other people have made to get inspired. And it works. It definitely works. People are asking me to say stuff. I'm not saying stuff. I don't know what that means to you. Like, it might not mean anything literally, but it might mean something to you. And I'm not saying anything I don't know what the meaning of. So just stop it. I will not do that. My sister went to Spain, and within the first 24 hours, she called us up and told us she was bad. Oh no. Oh no. That's terrible. Am I the only one who sometimes hears more English than their mother language? Yeah, that happens. That happens when you generally, like, either in an English-speaking area or in an English-speaking, like, you know, even internet area. I just realized that I'm a moderator. Oh yeah, you probably are, because I used to stream... When was that? I used to stream on YouTube over the summer, and you probably joined back then and were a moderator then. So there you go. Masha, please read my video idea. I don't see it. If you want to put a video idea, because I don't see messages in the chat a lot. Oh, actually, I did see it just now. Anyway, for video ideas, put it on the Discord server. There is a specific tab for video ideas that I actually look through. Are you going to do another 24-hour bracelet challenge? I am trying to. I promise. I really am. Honestly, I am trying to. Anyway, video idea. Try making bracelets out of unusual materials such as wools, ribbons, or noodles. Noodles, definitely not. I'm not making bracelets out of noodles. That is never happening. But yeah, actually that is a video idea that someone came up with. I think, it's already in that Discord server. But also, you should also put your video ideas in the Discord server if you feel like it. Because I read it there. But definitely not noodles. I actually want to do more challenges, to be honest. Like more challenge videos. I used to do them like a year ago, and then I haven't for whatever reason. I want to do more. I wanted to do a blindfolded one. I wanted to do one where I'm like trying to make a bracelet with like gloves on or something. so I don't have like the control that I normally do. So that would be interesting, potentially. I could do that. Also, I want to make a video with Stefan, but he doesn't want to make a video with me, so... May I just say that pattern is gorgeous? Oh, thank you very much. I also like it. I actually think it's really cute as well. I think, try knotting with long nails. Oh, only if it's, like, clip-on nails. I think the, creator of this pattern, I forgot the word for that, the author of this pattern is very, very talented because they make a lot of different patterns and they're all really, really cute and cool and I really like them. So, yes, I appreciate the author of this pattern. You have to find a pattern and use the colors in it, no variations. I mean, I do that a lot in general. That's not very, like, that's not much of a challenge. That's just what I do in general. What pattern number is this? This pattern number. I don't remember the pattern number, but it's linked in the description. Hello, hello, and welcome. Oh, I've been streaming for 2 hours now. I didn't even notice. You guys got me talking on such random topics today that I didn't notice how 2 hours have passed. Let me get some more water, actually, because I need to. Where's my jug? It's right behind me. Give me 1 second, I just want some water. There we go. It's like 10 p.m. I was gonna say I need to figure out what I'm doing for dinner, but it's like 10 p.m. Maybe I should just go to bed. I once again forgot to eat. Not very smart of me. What time is it in London? Well, I preemptively answered that. It's like 10:15. I've been here for 2 hours. I don't know what I've done with myself. Well, thanks for sticking around. But if you've got stuff to do, it's probably not a good thing. Oh, there we go. Someone put the pattern number in the chat. Thank you. The pattern is also in the description. So you can also just click it. Am I the only one who colors in the knots that don't show well enough and the messages got deleted? I wonder why. I don't, I know a lot of people print out their patterns, to like not look at a screen or whatever, like when they're knotting. So people print out, also people, I think, I don't remember her name, on Instagram, like a Russian creator prints out her patterns and like keeps them in like a journal thing, like a little booklet. She has a little booklet that she prints them out and like pastes them in, and I think it's really cute. And she also like decorates it with stickers and washi tapes and like lettering and stuff, and I think it's really cute. But I don't really do that. I don't like doing that. I don't like printing out my patterns. Well, first of all, I don't really have a printer, so that's the main issue probably in that situation. But even when I lived with my parents and I did have access to a printer, I didn't really do it that much. Because I sit at a screen all day anyway. Like, I usually make bracelets while I'm watching something or doing something else anyway, so it doesn't really make much of a difference whether or not I have a pattern up on my screen. Like, I'll be watching a TV show and then having a pattern. Like, right now I'm streaming, right? The streaming software is like on the right of the screen, and then the pattern is like on the left of the screen, so it doesn't make much of a difference for me anyway. But I know that people do that. And when I did do that previously, like, because I used to have parental controls on my devices and I wasn't able to go online as much as I would have liked to. I used to have the need to print out my patterns, and because we only had a black and white printer, I printed out my patterns and then took like markers and whatnot and colored them in. So I can relate to that. But I also don't do it anymore. So yeah. I only print out patterns so I can make them on car journeys when there's not enough space. Let me get some more water. Yeah, I mean, it helps in situations like that, yeah. There you go. Ooh, do you know what? I actually just noticed. I never noticed this before. YouTube has, like when you're streaming, you can see how many people are watching your stream at a given point in time. And YouTube has, like, live analytics, and it can show me, like, a graph of how many people were on the stream at a given point in time. There's this, like, one point at, like, what, an hour in, I think, where I lost, what, 20 people in one go. I wonder what I did there that, like, 20 people just decided to leave. That's really interesting. I never knew that they did this. Twitch doesn't do this. Twitch doesn't show you live. a graph of people. At least maybe it does. I don't actually know. Maybe I just never saw it before. But that's interesting to see. I had no idea. Have you ever done kumihimo? Is that how you pronounce it? I'm not very confident with my pronunciations in general. I have tried it before, but I'm not particularly good at it. I never quite figured out how to make patterns. I could only really make like the basic ones, like the stripes. And I think I watched a tutorial on how to make the heart or something, and I made that. I never quite figured out how to make the patterns, and I never quite figured out the logic of how they work. But that's probably mostly due to the fact that I didn't particularly love them. Like, it's not really my thing. I didn't love how they looked. I didn't love the process of making them. Like, I didn't really enjoy it. So no, I don't really make them. Have you ever gotten swatted while streaming? That is a very random question. I don't think many people have gotten swatted while streaming. I mean, I know that it has happened to people, but I don't think it has happened to that many people. But the answer is no. I have not gotten swatted while streaming. In fact, I have never gotten swatted in general in my life, and I would like to keep it that way. Thank you very much. Has anyone else read The Hunger Games? I don't know if that question was addressed to me, but I actually plan on reading them soon. Yeah. I'm probably going to leave relatively soon, guys. So if you have any, like, questions you want to ask me before I go, you should do that now. Purely because, like, I've been streaming for just about 2 hours, and I was only planning on streaming for, like, 30 minutes, to be honest. Like, I wanted to do a test stream. I wasn't planning on streaming today at all. Because I have a lot of stuff to do today. I was planning on filming a video today, which is probably not going to happen because it's like 10 p.m. now. I just wanted to like test to my new mic, but you guys ended up talking to me for like a while, so. Are you almost done? I think so. Well, not like almost, but like relatively. Yeah. Like, okay, let me just unzoom. Oop. There we go. Like, I put the loop up to the loop. This is how much I've got left. So I'm like relatively almost done, yeah. Oh, by the way. There we go. Nearly done, yes. It's probably gonna take less than an hour to finish, I think. Can you stream again soon? I was planning on streaming again soon. Like, this was just supposed to be like a test stream where I just like test out the gear, see if it works, see if it's any better. Do you guys actually, like, I mean, I assume the answer is going to be yes, because the mic quality and the camera quality before was absolutely terrible, but for those of you who's, this is not their favorite, for those of you who are coming back, who are not, like, how do I phrase this? For those of you who have seen my previous streams, there we go, is the camera and mic quality better? Is it noticeably better? Because I hope it is, because it was terrible before. Is it noticeably better? Because that was the thing that I was testing. Anyway, yes, I'm planning on streaming soon, yeah. I was planning on sleeping at this point, but then I saw that you went live and I failed. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yes, indeed. Oh, I'm glad. I am glad, because I absolutely hated the camera and mic quality that was, you know, the one that I had before this. I really did not like what it was. They're called returning viewers. Thank you very much. Like, why could I not phrase that? That just was not coming to me. It just was not. Thank you. The sound is so much better. Oh, that's great to hear. That is great. I am very excited to watch the playback, because I'm recording this as well, and I'm very, very, very excited to watch the playback and see for myself what it is like. Can you please stop spamming? I will not do that, because otherwise the entire chat is going to become people asking for me to say their names, and I don't want to do that, because I like my chats to be actual conversations. There we go. Are these two bracelets part of a set? Not exactly. I mean, it depends on how you define set, I guess. It's not part of a set. I wasn't making them to be part of a set. Like, it wasn't planned by me to be part of a set, but I'm pretty sure that the creator of the patterns made them in like one go. There's more than this. There's more than these two. There's like a few patterns that are very similar. So, did I do this correctly? Yeah. Yeah, if you go to the creators page on Bracelet Book, you'll see many more patterns that are similar. I've noticed that streamers don't answer spam. Yeah, because we don't want to encourage it. Masha, you are awesome. Have a good day night. Thank you. You guys also have a lovely day night wherever you are in the world. Deligracy says that. I really like deligracy. And I really like that phrase. Her outro is always like, oh, have a good, morning, evening, morning, day? I don't know what she says. I can't remember it now. Have a lovely morning, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. Something like that. She says that at the end of her videos, and I think it's really cute. And I really like it. Anyway, same vibes. Same vibes to you guys. What languages do you speak? I speak English. I also speak Russian fluently. They're both my native languages. Well, English was first, but... Oh, sorry. Russian was first, but English came close second. They're both my native languages. I also speak a little bit of German. I got a B1 in German years ago, to be honest. Was it a B2, actually? I think I might have gotten a B2. Yeah, I think I have a B2, actually, in English. In German. I keep saying B1, but I'm pretty sure I actually have a B2. I need to find that certificate. Not the point. I barely remember German anyway, so it's not like it's relevant anymore. But I did learn German. And that's where I met Stefan. We met in Berlin. Well, not exactly. We met in Germany while learning to speak German in a German language school. Can you stream on Instagram? I will at some point. I mean, I think that streaming on Instagram and streaming on like Twitch/YouTube is like a very different thing, because you go there for different purposes. Like whenever I'm streaming on Twitch or YouTube, I am streaming for a long period of time where I'm just like talking, chatting, nodding, whatever I'm doing at the time. Whereas on Instagram, it's a very sort of like laid back, chill sort of like, hey, let's chat really quickly type of thing. It's usually like less than an hour. I might at some point. Not today though, for sure. But at some point soon. Aloha from Hawaii! I didn't know I had viewers in Hawaii. That's awesome. Welcome. I just saw you doing a live and wanted to say hello. Thank you and welcome. Masha. Why did I even read my name? It wasn't even in the comment. Do you have a favorite bracelet pattern? And do you have an Etsy? I don't have an Etsy because I don't sell. I also don't really have a favorite bracelet pattern. Like, I like a lot of bracelets that I make. I don't have a specific favorite. The Masha. I'm tired. This is why I'm ending the stream soon, because I'm tired. The time is literally zoomed past. It's 10:30 exactly. It definitely has zoomed past. I just got the notification. Now I have to go to bed. I don't want to be a zombie tomorrow. Well, definitely go to bed. Don't worry. We're finishing soon anyway. I'm just asking for like last questions if you guys want to ask me something before I go. I'll also be uploading this onto my Masha Streams channel in case you missed bits of it and you want to watch it later. You can, or like rewatch it. You know, if you sat around for the whole thing but you want to rewatch it for whatever reason, you can also do that. I'm not gonna stop you. But yeah, I'm gonna be uploading this onto my Masha Streams channel for later as well. Oh, yeah, I should probably go now. I'm getting tired. I'm getting sleepy. I'm just going to finish these two little bits so it's actually symmetrical. And I'm going to go after that. Probably shouldn't have dinner, but I'm going to go grab like a snack or something because I haven't eaten in a while. Because I forgot! Lovely. I love forgetting to eat. It's amazing. Oh, I just snapped that. I just lay on my bed and listen to your voice. I find it fascinating that you guys love my voice, honestly. Like, I mentioned this in my previous stream, I think, but one of the main reasons that I was, like, anxious about creating a YouTube channel and starting YouTube was because I absolutely hated my own voice. I really, really did not like my voice, and I thought that it's cringy and horrible and that people wouldn't want to listen to me, and I find it fascinating that you guys like my voice, honestly, because I really don't. But thank you. I'm glad I made the live in time. Well, I'm glad you made it in time, but we are going to finish in like a few minutes. So thank you for coming, but I'm going to go soon. There we go. So I'm just going to finish this bit. And I'm going to leave. Anyway, thank you guys for coming. I had a great time. I mentioned before, like I was only planning on like being live for like 30 minutes just to check the audio quality and like hang out for a bit because I was planning on filming a video, but that never happened. So if it makes you feel any better, I hate your voice too. Thank you, Jake. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. Jake is a friend of mine, for those just joining. I feel like I have to keep saying that because the way that I speak to Jake and the way that Jake speaks to me is very different to other people in the chat. I'm not usually mean to people in my chat, but I mean, to be fair, he was mean to me here, so you know. Anyway, thank you for coming. I had a great time. I'll be re-uploading this to my Masha Streams channel, which is linked in the description, which you can watch later. Join my Discord. I like chatting to you guys there as well. And the more of you guys there are, the more fun it is. And you can also post video suggestions there. And also, if you play Animal Crossing, you should definitely join my Discord because I'm doing a DIY giveaway really, really soon because I have a bunch of DIYs on my island that I have no idea what to do with. They are overrunning my island. They are absolutely everywhere, so I need to get rid of them. So I'm going to be arranging a time and date for a DIY giveaway. Anyway, join my Discord and chat to me. Anyway, thank you guys for coming. Thank you, thank you. How do I go out of this now? There we go. I click this and then I click that. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.